Welcome to Bella and I's studio and Posca Wednesdays. On Wednesdays, we visit a sketchbook series. This series, we're doing Posca pens, Posca art. I'm new to this medium, and the intention is to work through a sketchbook and get better at the medium. So, Posca pens intrigue me. I like the opacity of the Posca pens. Always up for a challenge, and I really enjoy this series. We do one page at a time over the course of a few videos until we complete the page. We create and introduce characters into the art that I ask the audience to name. So as we move along, I'll have you name the critters in the comment section. And by the time we're done with that page, I'll put the names in a random generator and let it decide who gets the credit for the name, right? So this week I did buy a portfolio because what I noticed going in and out of the sketchbooks that I was going through the pages. I'd have to turn the page every time I go into to work in it, and I felt that over time that's going to degrade the pages in the art. So I went ahead and bought a portfolio so that it could be a standalone option to be able to securely store the art as we move along. So it's pretty cool. It's nothing super fancy. There might be some glare here off the light when I'm showing this because it is plastic sleeves. It's nothing super fancy. It does have a thin black paper for a divider between in the sleeve, so it'll divide the artwork that way. Has a little pocket over here in the page folder insert. Looks like you put business cards here. I have some glossy paper or glossy photo paper that I did some prints from these on my printer. I don't have a super fancy printer, so it only does this up to 8.5 by 11, and these are 9 by 12, so it cropped it a little bit. But I did it just to see, what it looks like. I've never really printed my art off like that before. I made a couple copies, and I gave one copy to my neighbor. He's an older guy, and his hands doesn't work as well as they used to. He has arthritis really bad in his hands, so he gave up learning how to draw. So I like to surprise him every once in a while with some art, and just it has sparked a little intrigue in him. He started coloring color pencils and stuff again, so he's doing that. Anytime I can turn somebody towards art or be inspired to create themselves, it's a feel good moment for me, because I know what art does for me in my everyday life, and how it's become a friend of mine, a place I can go and meditate and create my own world. And I enjoy doing that, and I enjoy sharing with all of you that experience and that journey. So again, this is a little portfolio we can put our art in. This is the last page we completed there in the sketchbook last episode or last week. You can come in on any episode. It's gonna be like that. You can navigate back and forth if you want to, but you can join at any time. You don't have any homework to do when you come to this channel. It's just join in and let's have fun. Let's draw. So we'll get our sketchbook out and our Posca pens. I like to keep an extra notepad just to prime the pens, because when you come in on your sketchbook or on your art, and you try to prime your pen on that, you take the risk of leaving a big puddle of paint on your art project that you have to try to allocate out and try to move around. So that's no fun. Doing a little sketchbook over here too, it looks like. Get out our Posca pens. Nice clean page to work on. set our bigger pens. These are brush style Posca pens, and they're a little bigger than the smaller bullet pen nibs. The bullet pen nibs are a 0.7 millimeter, I believe, size pen, so they're quite a bit smaller than these larger brush style nibs. If we look at the actual nib themselves on here, we'll see that we'll see the size difference. While they don't look a whole lot different, this brush nib is a lot more flexible than this bullet pen nib. So when you're using the bullet pen nib, what I've noticed, like on this paper, if you go over it too many times, it tends to chew up the paper a little bit. So you have to let it dry in between uses, in between passes. So, because sometimes one pass isn't going to cover it entirely and cover the subject, entirely. So you have to go over it multiple times. So stack our pens over here, move them around as needed. It's probably not the ideal positioning for all this. In fact, I'll go ahead and do that now. Move these over here, like that. That's fine. All right. So last page that I just showed you guys, we did. It was on land. It was a theme that took place in a dump. There were 4 critters, I believe. Snaily, Snaily the snail, Steven Seagull the seagull, Fred the frog, and Jerry the mouse. So they lived in a city dump, and it was a cool little story. We added a story to it at the end. So this page, what I want to do is something underwater in the sea theme. So we're going to do some sea creatures. And the first critter I want to draw, I have a reference of, is going to be a dolphin. So we're going to do a dolphin first. First thing I like to do is draw shapes, just to get, to work with the anatomy of the animal, to try to get the anatomy down a little bit. So we'll do that first. Let's start off with the main body part, the bulkiest part of the critter, the back end of the critter, and we're gonna work on the head. Sometimes you have to work it a little bit to get the right shape. What I'm seeing here, a little nose, the bottlenose part of the dolphin. So bottlenose dolphin, right? I don't go real heavy with the graphite because I have to come back with a kneaded eraser and pull some of the graphite off the paper so that the Posca pens go over it real well. Bella says hi. She's sleeping. Hi, baby. So yeah, she had breakfast. She's good to go. She's comfy, snoozing, doing her thing. So and she's always present. She's always grounding me, keeping me in check. She's the supervisor, so she's in charge. Believe it or not, I think this is her way of saying, "Dad, you got this." So I like to turn the page a lot. So, and the reason why is just because I have muscle memory in my wrist, and it helps. It helps when I turn the page a certain way to get in a certain angle. So, all right, I got this nose part here. It's kind of blunt. I like chatting as I'm drawing. It helps me relax. Well, the drawing helps me relax, but the chatting actually helps me relax when I'm drawing. So it's a symbiotic relationship right there, right? And now I'm just kind of transitioning in between the anatomy there. this is what I see the shape of this dolphin being. So now we'll come in and we'll get its mouth in here. What I'm going to do first is get some of these lines down a little bit. We'll work that eye in there. Okay. We'll get the dorsal fin here. About right there. We'll get his front fin. I don't know what these are called. If you guys know what they're called, let us know in the comment section, please. And then this is like his belly, his underbelly. Then we'll get the back fin in here. Looks like we want to make sure that it's sort of the right perspective here. I don't like this. It's okay to erase. It is absolutely okay to erase. When I was younger, I used to think that once I had to erase, the picture was ruined. I wouldn't be able to come back from it. And a lot of that was just because I couldn't get the graphite completely off the image. And a lot of that was probably because of the type of pencil I used. I just used a regular number 2 pencil, so. Alright. Now we're going to come in and try to refine some of this stuff we just marked up into here. I don't really like this tail. It's all right. Everything's going to be colored. I'm the kind of person that needs to fill the whole page. So, and the Posca pens will go over this real nice. Oh, there we go. I like that. What I'll do is I'll come in there and just erase a little bit of that. Just so that stuff isn't there anymore. Okay. We're going to keep that right there, right up there at the top. All right. And then we'll come in here and we'll get rid of all our, I guess I call them anatomy shapes. That's pretty much what they're doing. It's giving me the shape of the front of the skull. It's giving me the shape of the body, and then back here it's giving me the shape of the end of the critter, of the fish. I don't know. I don't think is a dolphin a fish? I know it's a mammal. Other mammals, that I do know. I'm pretty positive they're a mammal. I don't want to be 100% on that, but I'm 99% sure on that. All right, we're done with the graphite pencil. I think we got the basic shape of our dolphin in there. So, like now on this video, go ahead and comment down there what you want the name of the dolphin to be. Ooh. That looked like dried Posca pen ink. So that's all that was. That is a heavy pen. So yeah, it's always good to come over here and just real quick, just to make sure that you're not going into it with a lot of paint. Now, what I like to do is come down here and outline it with nice black Posca pen. And I'm using the smaller Posca pen. I also like to mention this week we're starting a 2 multi-camera setup here in the studio, and I will travel and see how it works outdoors this Friday. You guys will see that this Friday in our Friday Ride series. I just thought it would make a good addition to what we have going on, because what I noticed through the videos was that it did need some clarity on the visuals, because because I do like to narrate and tell the story as I'm going. And what I noticed was that there was really no visuals. I mean, it was hard to see the art. It seemed far away. So I felt that an overhead shot was necessary. So I saved my pennies, and over time, it took us a little bit, but over time we were able to purchase that second camera, and I hope that it brings you guys right in on the art and brings you more into the story of what we're building. So this isn't about perfection. So while it needs to make sense, it's perfection is not what I'm going for here. I'm just going for a style. I'm learning how to use these Posca pens in real time. And I'm journaling that. This is essentially like a journal. Storybook journal. Sometimes just turning the artwork will allow me to get that perspective. I'll be able to see a little better what I'm looking at. Okay, I'm okay with that. It gives us a good structure to start with. What I'm seeing is this guy he's gray, but he's got some blue tone to him. So we're gonna start with gray. And I'm gonna come in and paint them all gray. I like these pens. I don't mind shaking them a little bit to get them to going. But yeah, you do have to be mindful of doing that. Because what'll happen if you don't shake them every once in a while, they'll come out runny, like real watery. Or they'll come out real streaky, like they're trying to dry up on you. Either or. I've noticed both. Both phenomena happen with these pens. So it's good just if you haven't used it in a while, just to shake it up. Give it a quick shake. We'll just come along this line art that we made with the black pen. And we can go over that black too, a little bit with the gray. It's okay. How was you guys' week? Did you guys have a good weekend? You're about halfway through your work week. We are. It's It's kind of nice. Anything happened special in your week so far? Like maybe a surprise. Maybe it was maybe somebody had a special event or something that they attended. They want to share with the rest of us. Me and Bella had a pretty busy week. We did. Getting this new camera. We had to do some testing and stuff, just to get used to it. Learn some more stuff in DaVinci. I use DaVinci Resolve to edit all my videos. So I had to learn how to create a pip shot, I guess is what they call it, and the overhead shot. So, and it was pretty cool. I mean, it really, it reinvigorated me because, things can get stale, as you're moving forward. You can get a little stale, I guess, for lack of a better term. And for me, challenges really are the key to staying interested and staying focused and driven. While I don't like to spend a lot of time in post edit, the advent of having another camera and just trying to learn a little bit more about it, doing the pip shot and stuff, or this shot, the face shot, the one you see down in the corner, is called the pip shot. I'll either have this one in the corner or up up over here. It's either going to be over here or down here. Whatever works out best for where the drawing and stuff is, because I don't really want it to overlap what you guys are experiencing here. So, but yeah, you learn little things like where the shot is, where you need to have your paper most of the time for it to really come through for the viewer, for the audience, for you guys, and me, because I do watch this video a couple times before it goes out, at least once, through the edit. I don't like to cut a lot of things in the middle of the video. I just try to be mindful of the flow, and in doing that, it helps me not have to sit in that chair and do the editing for so long. I don't like to do that. Not really, anyway. I do like coming up with unique shots. I get ideas sometimes from other YouTubers. Sometimes just from my mind. It's like, ooh, I wonder what this would be like, kind of thing. So a lot of that. And that's art all in of itself, you guys. It really is. Bring a lot of joy to this man's heart. All right, I went out a little bit right there on that fin, but I think we'll probably be okay. I just wanted to get some gray in there, and then I'll come back and work it with other colors to get our final shape. I see some water up here. I want to do like the top, like the surface of the water is up here, so I'll have to do that a certain way so that it looks kind of legit, so it looks, makes sense. And if you do, like right here, I noticed I made the fin a little chubby right there. It's okay, because once I come back with the blue to do the ocean part, the water, I can cover that up. So, I mean, nothing's really set in stone there. So I have to be a little careful. Okay. I'm liking how this is looking so far. And then what I'll do now is I'll come back in with this black pen again and reestablish some of the stuff we just lost there. Maybe the mouth a little bit there. Don't have to do, it doesn't have to be 100%. Just enough to signify that there's, you know, a mouth there. Like that. Might want to a little more obvious here. There. Now you can see it's taking shape a little bit, but I do need to get another coat of gray on here for sure. We'll do that, but first, I'll come back to that black. That's the eye. I'm gonna leave just a little tiny hint of white, like that little white speck there for a highlight. Okay. Now I'm gonna choose a couple colors there because these are gonna be for a shadow effect. And it's gonna be right along the top of this guy. Like that. Imagine this guy chilling in the ocean, looking at some stuff, some other critters, a shark, maybe, you know, there's crabs. There's a crab in here. He's just looking out. He's looking at things, surveying the area. We're just going to use this to kindly suggest shadow, right? It doesn't have to be legit, you know, photorealism or anything. It just needs to make sense. I'm going to come in with a little bit of a thinner blue than that brush. Just so I don't have to, you know, come back over with the gray so much. Just like that. Yeah. Just to soften that gray up a little bit. A nice light blue can do that. This is essentially for shadow. For that shadow effect. So, okay. Almost done with our dolphin already. Or at least as far as I'd like to go with it. Until I start getting some other visuals in here. Maybe we'll revisit it, maybe we won't. Then I'm going to use this gray just to come back and take some of that back. So it doesn't look like it's just, you know, full on traced. Just to kind of respect the line art a little bit. I feel like there's some separation there in that fin, a little more little more there. Okay. Yeah. We'll go ahead and put another coat on our friend here. So he doesn't look so streaky. Or she. Could be a she too. Doesn't have to be a he. Be whatever you want it to be. For now, until we figure out what the name's gonna be, it's just gonna be the Dolphin. It's gonna be the Dolphin. We'll see how that top sort of dries. That's what I'd like to try out. Just because I'm seeing some blue in it, we'll come over here and we'll get a little pile of blue. Then we'll just get a little bit of an arm marker here. And we'll be able to come in certain areas there and do something. And if we don't like it, then we'll let it dry a little bit and we'll go back over it. But I see a little bit of blue out here at the top of our buddy. About like that, huh? That's what I'm saying. How I did that was I just came over to my pad instead of going right onto the image here. I went on over to my pad and I got a little dark blue going, and I just rolled the gray into it. We'll work it here. Not too much, because I don't want to chew up the paper, you know. And we'll just feather it in here. There's an indentation there across the side of the Dolphin. Yeah. I think that'll translate pretty nice in the long run of everything. Yeah. So now we'll come back with a little bit of the black again, and it's right here, right there. So I don't know why I'm seeing that, but it's making sense to me. I'm gonna come over here, get some of that off of there. Just want to work that mouth again. And there it is. I'm going to leave it. That, friends, is our first critter in our underwater theme for this page in Posca Wednesday sketchbook series, where we come back every Wednesday and we work on the same page until we're done with the page. We create a story for it. I think over here what I'm seeing, since I have the Dolphin here, I might either put the story down here or I'll put a story over here. But I want to wait to do that until I get a few more critters in here and get maybe some coral, what other stuff, little small fish. You know, doesn't necessarily have to be anything extravagant, just something to bring all this together and make it a little more cohesive and look like an underwater world. We're building a world here, and yeah, we'll just move through it. We'll move through it week by week and do whatever we need to do to move this story forward. So as we're seeing it, and right now what I'm seeing is that our dolphin friend is introduced here in the ocean. He's chilling, she's chilling, and there's other critters here. There's other critters for this dolphin to communicate with or be friends with. So we'll just make that line disappear just ever so slightly. Not entirely. We're picking up some of the black onto that gray. So okay, we'll paint it right out to the fin. Just like that. Just so that fin's a little in the back. A little background of the fin there. There we go. Well, so maybe, you can blend these a little bit. So, there's that. But anyway, you guys, until next week, until next Wednesday, you guys enjoy your week, the rest of it. I'll see you Friday. And hope you guys have some big plans for the weekend.